Okay, today is September 7th, and here's a little garden update. Everything looks really bad. This year we've barely had any rain at all. You can see the grass. I mean, this part's a little green, but over there is completely dry and brown and crispy. The garden has really struggled. We don't have a great irrigation system. It's just a soaker hose and doesn't put out too much water. But this bed does get the most water because this is the closest to the faucet. And as you go down, it gets less water, and then this bed, the least water. So yeah, everything is really dry and crispy this year. It's kind of sad. Last year we had the problem of too much rain, which brought on disease, and now it's like a little desert in our area. So one extreme to the other. Hopefully next year we'll just have a normal year. But we still have some tomato plants. They all are pretty sickly and dying out, but there's still some tomatoes on there. This, I believe, is, yes, so this is a Dr. Witchy's. I just took a big one off a day or two ago. You can see some here. One here has a little bit of sun scald on it. Yeah, you can see the leaf spot. This plant's really sick, but I don't want to pull it out because it has so many nice tomatoes on it. And then we have a ton of Kajari melons. You can see one there. Got one up there. There's a big rainbow that's not too big. I pulled up a couple plants. Check out this Sugar Rush peach that just volunteered from last year. I've never had a pepper plant volunteer. I did not plant this. I just threw out some peppers that dropped seed and it planted itself. It was right next to the soaker hose, so it got regular water. And look at all these. They're not ready yet. They'll get like a peachy orange color. But I just can't believe that I have like a hot pepper that volunteered. Never had that before. And we also had celosia volunteer. I have no clue how this happened. I guess it's from the celosia plants that I put out here. They just dropped seed as well. We have more pepper plants over here. You can see some bell peppers down in there. This thing is overgrown with weeds. By August, like I've said before, everybody's tired of the garden. I'm not tired of it. I'm tired of weeding it and upkeep. So this is what it looks like every August. It's unruly and it's a mess, but I love it. This is actually one of my favorite months in the garden. July, August, and September. Actually, yes, it's September. Look at this beautiful zinnia. We got the queen lime orange back there, and then just the rainbow mixed colors of the blue better salvia. And a puma pepper plant. You see all of those black peppers. And back here, Tabasco. See a cute little bee. They love the salvia so much. And then, let's see, we have a Tunisian bakludi plant. A bunch of peppers on it. Let me see here. Big peppers on that. And then back there is a peperoncini. And we have another puma plant. And check this out. Look at all of the peppers on that. And in the background, you might have spotted my beautiful artichoke. Oh, look at that. Now, I purposely let this flower because I just wanted to see how beautiful it would get. Here's another one. It looks kind of like lavender purple on screen. but in real life, it is the most striking blue, like light, powdery blue. Absolutely gorgeous. Really love it. It's so cool. See a little Japanese beetle in there. Yeah, tons of peppers, tons of Puma peppers. And then we had tons of ground cherries. I pulled up a couple plants. More zinnias. This is the salmon color. And then more volunteer sugar rush peppers. So check these out. These are all volunteers. This is a volunteer ground cherry. This is, I don't know what this is, weeds. More volunteer peppers. Look at all these habaneros. This is the most crazy year that we've had for habaneros. Look at all of these. This plant is just packed. And I started these from seed in January. Look at that. There's a bunch of ripe ones down at the bottom. I do not eat habaneros. My husband does. And he's just thrilled to have such a packed pepper plant this year. And we have the gazanias. I hope I got a video up of what these look like when they were in full bloom, because they were beautiful. More zinnias here. And then the melon trellis, which is getting dried out, so I hope we get a little bit, like a couple Kajari melons. This is, since we haven't gotten very much rain and the soaker hose doesn't do a great job, this is as big as my watermelons I've gotten this year. Look at this poor thing. Kajari, now this is the correct size for a Kajari melon. This is usually what size they are. But the sugar baby watermelon, this is probably the biggest one we have. And it's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 pounds. Just tiny little thing. Another one over here. But yeah, the Kajari melons are doing great. And when these ripen, there's no guessing, thank goodness, because we are terrible at that. This will actually just detach from the vine when they're ready. And we have some more over here. These Kajari melons are a little bit smaller. You can see how tiny they are. They'll still be good though. And then these poor little tiny sugar baby watermelons that just didn't get enough water. I guess I could try to water them, but it might be too late. It might just split. Kajari melon tucked in down there. And these aren't just pretty. These will get like a bright orange and green. These aren't just a beautiful fruit. These are one of my favorite fruits. I don't like melons. I actually don't like watermelons. I grow them for my daughter, not my husband. But I actually do love Kajari melons because they don't have like a really intense melon flavor. It's just like melon flesh texture, just sweet, like just sugary sweet. So I really like that. Can't wait to try one. Another Puma pepper. We have a cucamelon vine dying, but it has a couple little cucamelons on it. Look at this giant. Alright, let me get from this side. But this is holy basil. And look how huge that is. I didn't trim it. I didn't do anything. It got that big. One seed, one little plant. Like 4.5 foot wide from all angles. And like 2 foot tall. It's crazy. Well, actually, this is probably our biggest sugar baby watermelon. Pretty decent size. This is probably like 5 or 6 pounds. I know it's like ideal if they get up to 8 pounds, but we'll take what we can get in this desert climate at the moment. And we have some sun golds, or actually this is a sun sugar. So this is a sun sugar here. These are the sun golds. A couple of those, and the pink bumblebee. Those were really, really good this year. One of my husband's favorites. Another Kajari melon. I have this poor pepper plant here that's so dry. And these are really squishy. Okay, and there's a bee chasing me. I think I disturbed, okay. There you go, little bee, sorry. I disturbed a swarm yesterday and they all chased me in the house. So. Trying not to disturb them today. And then this poor little habanero, it's dried up habanero. Oh my goodness, this poor plant, I feel so bad for it. All these plants are so crispy. There's a blue cream berry. See a couple in there. Another sun gold. Yeah, we definitely have to figure out something with this bed so that it gets more water next year. You can see the butterfly pea vine. Actually has some pea pods on it, which I'm going to let dry out and plant again next year. Again, we just didn't get enough water to produce anything. And so we didn't get very many flowers at all on this. There's another vine here. A couple flowers dried up. Tree of Hell. The lavender is like huge. I'm going to have to cut that down. Calendula's done. You can see the remnants of what was a ground cherry here. And look at all of the ground cherries they dropped. I mean, they're just everywhere. And they are so good and sweet this year. Absolutely love them. So all this is drying out. Yarrow, the petunias, super petunias. Vincas are still going. Foxglove has dried out. And we won't even talk about this bed. This bed is completely done. And I feel so bad because there were some melons that tried to form, but they didn't make it. Smallest Kajari melon you've ever seen, the poor thing. You know, one here, just dried up. Oh, so sad. And then we have over here the Minnesota midget cantaloupe, which here's a little cantaloupe here. One here. Again, just sad to look at. This poor little serrano plant. Nice and crispy. But yeah, so these vines right here. Oh, and you can see the coneflower in the back. Everything's dried up. Sunflowers are done. You see how little these vines are. Whole trellis is empty. They never grew. They dried up. This is what they should look like. Although a little better, not yellow. That's because of the no water. But that is what it should look like. So, a little disappointing. But one good thing with gardening, you always have next year. So I have a video that I edited, trying all of my tomatoes that I picked this year, almost all of them. And I will post that soon. I show slicing them all, tasting them all, a little bit of information about each one, a couple different types of the same variety of each one. So yeah, I'll have that video out in a couple days, maybe a week, and I'll see you then.